Dear viewers, Namaskar. In the headlines today, SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant registers noteworthy performance in the first 2 months of financial year 2021-22 despite the pandemic. And API Q1 first surveillance audit commences at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant.
Employees of C&IT department felicitated for System Improvement Project SIP modules of Vigilance Department and initiatives taken by SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant to facilitate NPS account opening amongst its employees. World Environment Day observed at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. And sanitization continues in different parts of steel townships of SAIL RSP for containing spread of the multiple wave of COVID-19.
Now the news in detail. With the unwavering commitment and steely grit to serve the country, the collective of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant have performed remarkably in areas of production, dispatch and techno-economics in the first 2 months of financial year 2021-22 despite the pandemic. While the steel plant left no stone unturned to ensure safety of the employees, adopting a holistic and integrated healthcare system to meet the pandemic-induced challenges, the collective in turn worked in tandem with renewed zeal to help the company sustain the momentum as well as stand by the nation during one of the most difficult times in history. It is worth mentioning here that RSP drew all-round applause by expediting the supply of medical-grade liquid oxygen to different parts of the country. The steel plant ramped up the production of LMO and ensured round-the-clock loading of tankers, thereby supplying more than 16,000 tons of LMO during April and May 2021 from its oxygen plants. Most of the production units of the plant excelled to achieve more than 100% APP targets in April and May 2021. Showing strong resilience against the disruptions caused by the pandemic, the steel plant produced 6,93,090 tons of hot metal, 6,37,032 tons of crude steel, 5,82,007 tons of saleable steel in the first 2 months of the current fiscal to clock the best April to May production. Besides, by producing a total of 3,06,976 tons of HR coils, RSP posted the best April to May performance. The sintering plants too excelled in zinc to produce all-time best April to May performance with a total sinter production of 11,51,957 tons. Similarly, in the dispatch arena, RSP achieved the best April to May dispatch of saleable steel of 5,85,732 tons. The steel plant also dispatched 2,14,557 tons of HR coils in the above period to clock the best ever performance. The average power generation from CPP1 and CPP3 also witnessed a growth of 16.4% and 113.2% respectively in comparison to the corresponding period last year. By imbibing the values of its mission statement, Shresht, to become a safe as well as most respected, trusted, cost-conscious, quality-centric, eco-positive, humane and harmonious establishment, RSP has been making rapid strides to sustain the production trend, thus significantly contributing in strengthening the economy as well as the growth of the country at such a critical juncture. The API Q1 monogram first surveillance remote audit commenced at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 7 June 2021. Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, presided over the opening meeting. Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, Mr. D.C. Durve, Lead Auditor API, Chief General Managers, Heads of Department, Management Representatives of the concerned department attended the meeting held on virtual mode. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Kumar highlighted the importance of API certification and assured the auditors of the necessary cooperation for the conduct of smooth audit. The objective was to look into the registration and licensing scope of API 5L, certification of 5L0068 and its conformance status, The scope of audit constituted API 5L, manufacture of line pipe plain end at PSL, namely HFW MX70 and HFW RX70 pipes. During the meeting, the auditor introduced the API policy, governing codes and ethics, audit plan and audit advisories. The formal opening meeting concluded with a vote of thanks by Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, CGM MS. The program was coordinated by the Business Excellence team. The 3-day audit process would comprise plant tour through WhatsApp live video streaming, management process, QMS processes, and MR-related activities, customer-related process, planning of product realization, and manufacturing and product realization process. The departments that would be participating in the audit process are pipe plant, material management, research and control laboratory, production, planning and control, instrumentation, and business excellence.
In a program organized at Conference Hall of C&IT Department of SAIL, Rockla Steel Plant on 4th June, Mrs. Atashi Parmanik, CGM in charge A, I and IT, felicitated Mr. Dilip Chandra Yadav, Senior Manager C&IT, and Mr. Sunil Kumar Raut, SOST C&IT, for their commendable contribution towards development of System Improvement Projects SIP of Vigilance Department in ERP system in SAP environment. Present on the occasion were Mr. Manas Kumar Gupta, GM and ACVO RSP, Mr. YP Das, GM in charge and HOD C&IT, Mr. P.S. Rao, GM, C&IT, Mr. Vijay Kumar Yadav, GM, Vigilance, other senior officers and employees of the department. The function was held adhering to all the norms pertaining to COVID-19. It may be noted that System Improvement Projects aims at plugging the holes in the system and enhance transparency. SIP of 2021 is to ensure demand creation in SAP system against all the defaulted parties with respect to RPN cases, and SIP of 2019, which is titled Registration or Processing of RJC bills pertaining to works contract or work orders issued by Contract Cell Works. In his address, Mrs. Atashi Parmanik appreciated the teamwork shown by Vigilance and C&IT Department for successful rollout of both the SIPs and said that these will immensely contribute to reduce the delay in processing and will enhance accountability of officials, thereby decreasing individual discretion. The ACVO RSP appreciated the efforts and support provided by C&IT Department for implementation of SIP 2019 and 2021. Mr. YP Das, in his address, narrated about the mapping of the physical system to a computerized system that involves the process of strong system design, which can give rise to robust computerized systems. Mr. P.S. Rao said that the software developed by C&IT would reduce human intervention and human errors. At the outset, Mr. Vijay Kumar Yadav welcomed the gathering and elaborated on the initiatives taken by Vigilance Department for different SIPs undertaken by Vigilance Department every calendar year. To provide post-retirement economic security to its employees, SAIL, Rockla Steel Plant, has been encouraging them to invest in pension account at regular intervals during the course of their employment. The Personal Welfare Department of RSP has been taking various initiatives to facilitate the process. Webinars are being arranged to create mass awareness for account opening. During the session, financial experts have been providing input on the importance and necessity of NPS steps and process to open an account and its benefit in the long run. The first webinar was held on 2nd June. Till date, 120 persons have been covered. Along with the webinar, a help desk has also been opened at State Bank of India RSP campus branch to help the employees. The program is being coordinated under the supervision of Mr. G.R. Dash, GM, Personnel. SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant RSP, joined the rest of the world in observing World Environment Day on 5th June 2021. Mr. Deepak Chattaraj, CEO, RSP, hoisted the environment flag at Shilpa Konark premises on 5th June. Present on the occasion were Mr. Rajveer Singh, ED, Hospital Administration, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, Mr. A.K. Pradhan, ED Projects, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED P&A, and other senior officers complying with the social distancing and other prescribed norms related to COVID protocols. The Environment Pledge was administered to all present on the occasion. Environment badges were also worn by the employees to mark the occasion. It is worth mentioning here that apart from adopting latest environment-friendly steel-making technologies, RSP has also taken various measures for treatment of pollutants at their source of generation. Electrostatic precipitators, bag houses, multi-cyclones, dry fog dust suppression systems, and wet scrubbers have been installed in various units to reduce or separate air pollutants. In addition to this, RSP has also taken up various green projects for environment protection, namely installation of megawatt solar power plant, installation of 40 KLD solar water heating systems in Ispat General Hospital, LED lighting system in place of traditional lighting system in township and inside steel plant, etc. In compliance to the COVID guidelines, SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, has been taking all possible measures to combat and contain the COVID pandemic. The various initiatives in this direction include proactive sanitization, communication drives, developing treatment facilities as well as augmenting tracing, testing and vaccination. The Public Health Unit of the Town Engineering Department of RSP has been actively engaged in cleaning and decontamination of residential areas and public places. In the first week of June, different sectors across the steel township was sanitized. The public places where disinfection drive was carried out were Mahila Police Station, Sector 4, Police Station at Sector 7 and 19, Bus Ticket Counter, Sector 3, Booster Pump House situated in Sector 2, 3, 4, 6, 15, 17 and IGH, Horticulture Office, market areas of Sector 4, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19, China Market, VIP Market, Civil and Electrical Maintenance Booth of Sector 4, 5, 6, 8, 15, 17 and IGH, Town Engineering Office, 33 kV Electrical Substation, Sector 6, Health Center of Sector 6 and 15, Brahmani Waterworks, Sector 8, Waterworks of Sector 20, Rourkela Steel Television Center, Durvani Bhavan and Ispat Library, Sector 19. It may be noted that RSP is making all-out efforts for regular cleaning and sanitizing so as to prevent the spread of the disease and to ensure health safety of the residents of Steel Township. That's all for today's news bulletin. Namaskar.